seconded it.
If we cannot just speak out of order.
I'm sorry.
Would you, Madam Chairwoman, do you want anything else from me, or is that clarification enough?
That is clarification.
Thank you.
And that is where, Matt, we really struggle. Because we have we as board members, yes, we hate to see the legal aspect of it. But there does come a time when we do have to stand up and protect those families that struggle with this. And so we're torn, absolutely. And Roger, I've never agreed with anything you said. And that's always probably been the truth. But unfortunately, this has been on my part, and it is not easy to stand up for what you believe is right. And I did not think people would come tonight, but I'm grateful because I have struggled with this board to try to speak on behalf of our kids. And it's not easy. It is definitely not easy. And either way we go this evening, it's a lose-lose. Because on one half we're putting our district at risk, and at the other side we're putting our kids at risk. And that's truly how I believe. You can fall on one side or the other. But I truly believe we are hurting our kids by extending these masks.
Amen.
Listen, there's a lot of heat in this position, and it is not easy. I did not take this position to become friends. I came to do what was right and what I thought was right. And I have struggled with this. I've prayed with this. It's not easy. But sometimes it has to take one.
Yes.
And so I am asking for courage. And what we go from here, I don't know what that answer is.
We do this and the rest of the districts will follow.
And
Yeah.
that I don't know, but I do know I'm fighting for my kids.
Yes.
And for the people that have contacted me daily about this. And they're not even here.
Right.
And I do not take this lightly in any way. I don't. But I fight for my 4 children. And I have to go with that. I believe, Dana, I don't know if the motion was just for a parent's choice.
That's right.
To wear their masks
Outside.
to not wear their masks outside.
And I believe with our numbers, I don't know those numbers, I researched them myself, yours are higher than mine, but I have seen Wayne County is 70%. That is in line with the governor. It is. And I just think it's one of those times, folks, where we have to stand up if that's what you choose to do.
You're here.
And I think the motion was made and it was seconded. And I believe, let's take a vote. Mr. Gogolski has been on the phone. And I think we just need to see what the vote is and then take it from there. And if we need to get Mr. Enslin on the phone, then we get Mr. Enslin on the phone.
Thank you.
Take a vote.
He's been on midway, he texted.
Oh, right. You remember what time?
I can look back
Was
how
he
long.
voting?
What's that?
Was he voting during the, because I did not record.
I didn't hear him. I think he's still on mute, to be honest, but he is on the phone. And he has been for the number.
All right, that should have been announced.
All right, well, I didn't know. He's been on for 20-some minutes. So we can let that in. Mr. Gogolski, are you still there? Yep, he is still there. Okay. So again,
Could you read the motion again so we know what it says?
sure. I
Making a motion that employees and students have the option to not wear masks outdoors during school hours and at home outdoor sporting events and practices, based on the Wayne County statistics on vaccination rates, which puts us over the 70% the government has recommended. The statistics are, in Wayne County, there are 21,225 that have received just their first dose, which provides 80% protection from COVID. The fully vaccinated number is 15,565, and there are 3,910 within the county that had COVID, for a total of 40,690 within Wayne County. 70%, to get 70% in Wayne County, we would have to hit 35,905. So we are approximately 5,000 beyond where we should have already been.
Is this motion in violation of the governing ordinance?
I'm sure it is.
Yes, and there's also an anticipation form that we signed, myself and the president, that we would comply with the governor's orders.
And that was signed in July in order to get us back into school, and we did that.
I have a question about the vaccination numbers.
Yes.
21,000 Wayne County residents have received a first dose, and 15,000 are fully vaccinated.
Correct.
Are you just adding those numbers together?
No, I believe Dana said she added the COVID positive, which has the antibodies.
But my point is, are the 15,000 included in that 21,000?
No.
Okay. Then by my calculation, it should be something like half of Wayne County, just based on the numbers that you said.
Well, Dana's our mathematician, so I'm sure they are correct, because we have 51,000 in the district. I don't know what was the
51,
number?
yeah, it's about 51,000 people in
So
Wayne
there's
County.
21,000 that received just one dose, which puts them at 80% protected against COVID.
Danny, can we have where the source is from? So that we could all reference that, please.
This has to be voted on. I know it's a motion, but, I mean, I'm sitting here, I got a lot of things going on, trying to figure out which way to go. I need more time. I mean, that's me personally, right?
I'd move to table the motion until we have more time to.
I mean, I know there's not a lot of time left in school, and I know that's probably half the point.
Well, I think weather has a lot to do with it. I think,
What
you know,
I'm
there's
saying-
been concerns from staff
when I'm
also
saying
with
more
the warm
time, I'm
weather.
not talking
Your
a
feelings.
month, I'm talking, you know, within the week, but that's what I'm asking for. I mean,
I'll second
I'd
the
like
motion
to listen
table
to
it.
Matt Meir a little bit more, I'd like to hear some more things from more people. That's just that's how I feel.
Well, you know what, let's vote first, just hear me out, let's vote, because the way it's gonna vote, it's not gonna
The
do,
motion to table, there is.
Right.
but I think, listen,
I think your strong feelings on this position would be done. And surprising.
listen, I will resign as president.
Surprising.
I
as it
have
was
no
before.
problem.
Yeah, but we haven't had time to we want time to digest
But
everything else
Rick,
that we
you know
vote
what?
on.
This
But we
goes
had
to-
no time to.
We've had a year to get our statistics and
Yeah, but
facts. I did that work myself, and the minute the governor said 70%, I did that
Give
myself.
them to anybody else before this evening.
But that's my point.
So we were
Then
given
if
this
you got
information
it,
10
then
minutes
you
ago,
should be getting
and
that
we gotta
information.
decide.
You are making the choices for these kids.
We are.
So give me information. Because this is where you guys keep pushing it down. I will resign, I could give a crap. I'm for our kids. And if you don't have your research done on this by now, then you should care about our kids. Because you are making the choice for these kids. And so don't just go by what the governor says.
Audience,
I do.
Alexander Hamilton.
It's fine to be on.
Excuse me, Attorney Mayor.
It really is.
Can you give us clarification?
You're gonna lose your funding anyway if you do a lot of charter schools.
We're moving to Florida.
90 students, you guys lost 90 students. 90 students are already gone.
Madam Chairwoman, there was a motion made by Mr. Gambita to table it, and it was seconded. So that moves it to that motion now under Robert's Rules of Order.
So then we'll remake the motion? Because, Matt, this is my thing.
No, I understand. I'm just,
Make the motion, it probably won't pass, but it has to be on the record.
I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry I have to throw out parliamentary procedure and everything, but you're run by Robert's Rules of Order, and there was a motion made, seconded, it was open for discussion. Another member made a motion to table it, it was seconded, so now you have to deal with that motion. I'm sorry, I know this is an emotional thing.
It's not emotional, Matt, it's to the point.
I
I appreciate that, Matt.
I'm just
I
trying to...
get it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ms. Sparkle. We're just gonna keep rolling, and we'll do it as that. Is there any other business?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to.
We have a motion on the table. It's tabled, so it's been seconded. You have to do that, right?
So we're going to vote on this one motion.
Yes. At least for a couple, at least till we have a day or two. I don't care if we set this up again in a couple days. I just need more
We
time.
need
Another
another
public
meeting
meeting?
for a budget resolution as
I'm
well.
fine with that.
It should be. It has to be. It's got to be
I hear what
public.
he's
It can't
saying.
be private.
If we could just be polite, these folks have really, listen, they're in a tough
I don't
spot.
mind taking my mask off.
They're in a tough spot.
I'm wearing it because we were asked to indoors and because I'm protecting everyone else. I've been vaccinated. I'm not worried about myself. We wear the mask.
Okay, let's not go into any more mess. We're more than welcome to. Let's just vote on the first one.
It's my job to protect me, not your job.
No.
Yes, you have to vote on table.
Mike has a different motion. Hold on, we have to vote on the table. Oh, that's what I said. So the motion was made to be tabled. If we could do a person-by-person vote, I would appreciate that. Mr. Gambita, your vote
This is the vote
to table the motion of outdoor masks. I'm sorry, what was it, table it? Yes? Mr. Ackland?
What's the
Ms.
time?
Desiato?
No.
Mrs. Fiorella is a hard no. Mr. Hope?
Yes.
Mr. Gagolsky? Yes.
Or just vote on it now.
Just to table it.
I say let's vote on it now.
Okay, so that's a no. Mr. Gershi?
Yes.
And now Mr. Wood.
Yes.
So it is 4 noes to 3 yeses. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, I apologize, 4 to 4.
I believe that vote was 4 to 4.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So it's a stalemate. I would be willing to have this conversation, but you know, it's unfortunate because I've brought this to the attention of the board for months.
So, Madam Chair, I hate to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
that means on a 4 to 4 vote
Right.
that the tabling fails and you now fall back to the original motion made by Ms. Desiato.
Thank you.
And this is the truth. Everybody has kicked this down the can, and you think we aren't serious. We are. I feel sometimes this board has been tossed to the side on a lot of our decisions. And this is not to hurt anyone in any way administratively, by no means. It is not to hurt our staff. It is not in any way. It is strictly trying to do what is, we believe, is right for our kids. And that's where I stand.
Well, to allow our children.
So if we could, the motion has been made, and it has been seconded. So if we could kindly have, Dana, if you would not mind reading that one more time, and then vote on it.
I'm making a motion that employees and students have the option to not wear masks outdoors during school hours and at home outdoor sporting events and practices. Based on the Wayne County statistics on vaccination rates, which puts us over the 70% the government has recommended.
Okay, that motion was made by Mrs. Desiato and then seconded by Mr. Hoffman. Any questions or comments? If we could kindly go down the line. Mr. Gambetta?
Do the right thing, man.
Joe? Now, listen, please, if we could just have him make the decision. These decisions are not easy on any of us. Joe, I'll give you time. Mr. Auckland?
Yes.
Ms. Desiato?
Yes.
Ms. Fiorella is a yes. Mr. Gogolski? Mr. Gogolski?
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay, we made the motion to remove mask outdoors. Are you a yes?
I'm in favor of that.
Okay. Mr. Hoke?
No.
Mr. Gershi?
I don't know. I don't also like to say something back,
In the beginning of the change, the patriot is a
Please,
scarce man and brave and
excuse me,
hated
sir.
and scorned.
Sir,
When
can
his
we
cause
have him removed,
succeeds, the
please?
timid will join him, and because there's
Thank you.
nothing to cause.
Please have him removed.
Thank Mark Twain.
Mr. Gershi,
Have a good day.
please.
Can you, okay, it's working. I just want to say, the reason I'm voting no is, first of all, because the governor's order, I'm not going to vote against that, for the reasons stated by Attorney Merritt. And secondly, I want to mention that everyone, practically, everyone here that we've heard speak is on one side of the issue, and that's understood. And there's nothing I can say that's going to change your mind. I understand that as well. And you all know, I think, that there is another side to this, which has not been presented tonight. And even if, we went into detail, you aren't going to say that you agree to it. But I just want to say, there is another side. And we all are concerned about the welfare of the children. That has always been my chief concern. And there were statements made here tonight that were, absolute, this is a fact, and this is illegal, and so on, which, of course, are not accurate. So I just want you to know that, there is another side.
Vote him out!
And
Excuse me.
I've heard you.
Vote him out!
I appreciate your concern, and, I've listened. And I understand your concerns.
The kids are wearing masks.
Excuse me, if you cannot be quiet, then we are going to ask you to leave. Mr. Gershi is a valued board member, and I respect him highly. Because he differs in opinion from me, does not mean we cannot vote and work together properly. Mr. Wood?
I'm a no.
Okay. Mr. Gambetta, it comes to you.
I'm a no.
Okay. So that is a 4-4 vote. And so where we would go from here is what I would like to see. I would like to see some real conversation on both sides, because our kids are truly the ones that are suffering, because an individual is saying yes. And listen, I will resign tonight, I have no problem. I'll stay on the board, I can move down. but I'm not going to give up that fight.
Thank you.
Because my kids matter. And they should matter to all of you. And we all are here for the right reason, because it's for the kids. But I want an honest conversation on this, and I don't want just a shoulder shrug, because we have legitimate concerns. And they should have been taken back to the hospitals every Monday meeting, taking it to the other 3 Ws, so our voice could be heard. And that's the conversation that needs to take place. Mike, I think we'll save that motion.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the conversation that needs to be had, because I think, you know, it's that time. If there isn't any other business at this time,
Mrs. Fiorella, we do need to set another meeting
yep,
for later in this month to discuss the budget and.
and today's date is the 5th, correct?
Yes.
I'm available. You pick it. Matt and Rose, do you have to pick it tonight? Or can you just discuss it tomorrow and let us know? And we will have it open to the public. Our future meetings, we have one June 2nd. We also have one June 9th. And we did have a meeting April 21st at 6 p.m. for the May board work session. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. Meeting is over. We will have an additional meeting shortly, quickly.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.